So, talking about the GOP convention again. Speech I heard last night, giving you my thoughts on that. And that speech was by one Saeed Tarak. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Saeed Tarak is the president for American Muslims for Trump. Yes, you heard me correctly. American Muslims for Trump. He represents a group of Muslim Americans who are going to vote for Donald Trump. Shocking, isn't it? It's sort of like zebras voting for lions, right? You look at Donald Trump, some of the things he said about wanting to ban all Muslims from entering the country, and you wonder how can any Muslims vote for him. Of course, social media was just on fire last night with this. Well, first let's get into the speech. He talked about how we need to be picking good leaders. And we need to focus on who's going to make a better leader, right? And I gotta say, I was kind of surprised that the GOP brought this guy out, given what we've been saying about Muslims. But at the same time, they actually brought a Muslim on to their convention, had him talk. He was the last speaker of the night, and just like with Joni Ernst the night before, most of the room was gone. Most of the conventioners had taken off, which I'm kind of wondering what's up with that. It's like the Quicken Loans convention people, real stricklers about their business hours. It's like, hey, we close at 11 p.m. If you still got people in here after that, it's going to cost you more money. GOP looks at it and it's like, well, shit. Every time we end with someone giving a motivational speech, people are still hanging around talking about how they were motivated by that. We've got to get some people to clear the room. So, like, after Donald Trump will be giving his speech, then they'll be like, okay, now let's hear from Stacey Dash. Room clears out. It's like, yeah, let's find someone no one wants to hear or gives a shit about so we can get that room empty, because that's a lot of money there. Fucking Quicken Loans Convention Center. But, no, so back to that. Yeah, so kind of surprising. Another thing, the guy prayed. He asked the people left if they would pray with him, and you go to the crowd, and there's people praying with this Muslim guy. And these are supposed to be the intolerant Republicans. I was kind of impressed. And like I said, they seemed to treat him with respect. There wasn't anyone booing about him or throwing shoes at him or saying, go back to Iraq, any of that nonsense, which, if it had happened, I'm sure CNN would be all over. No? So, like I said, GOP delegates treat Muslim speaker with respect. That's not a headline. But, yeah, so, anyway, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. People are wondering, how the hell can a Muslim American vote for Donald Trump? Well, for first off, it's still under 10%. I mean, if the Muslim Americans are going to vote for Donald Trump, they're under 10%. It's what you would expect. Well, maybe not, because some people thought it would be 0%. But I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking it's not that inconceivable that some Muslim Americans would vote for Donald Trump. Let's not be borderline racist here, where you think that you've got a conceived notion of some minority group and you're going to blow a fucking fuse once a few of them don't line up with that conception. And for me, I'm looking at it, and it comes down to the old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. The enemy in this case would be ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Some of these Muslim Americans, some of them probably came over here fleeing other countries where they had to deal with people like ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and they're not big fans. And they want to go with the person who's going to put those assholes in the ground. And for them, that's Donald Trump. And why not Hillary Clinton? Well, maybe it has something to do with some of her policies in the Middle East when she was Secretary of State, that they're just not fans. For them, Donald Trump is the lesser of two evils. And that's what I think about of this American Muslims for Trump controversy, whatever the hell you want to call it. Like I said, it's under 10%. And just step back, kind of give some thought, and you probably understand why some people will vote for Donald Trump like that. I'm not one of them, or Hillary. I put that out 100 times, but I want to make sure that's clear.